Low volumes, negativity once again in the markets. Many said that the changes at the top when it comes to the SEC should have created some kind of confidence. It's not filtering through into the markets at this point in time. Give us your view on what's happening on the ground.
Okay, first of all, when you provide public information to the public, you should provide it at once and be consistent. Every day in the papers, you hear one story. Tomorrow, there's a flip-flop. It's reversed. So people don't really know what's the truth and what is not the truth. That's number one. Number two is uncertainty breeds panic in this country and many other countries too. When you have uncertainty, you're not sure what tomorrow is going to bring, people decide to exit. And that's what that's also happening. Number three is what is called morale. The morale in the market is pretty low. If you notice 2 weeks ago when we had the AMCON signing, we had an up market, went up for a while. All the bad banks or sanctioned banks, they had upside on their price movement because of people who were positive about it. But these are the three major things that are going on. And again, stock exchange, leadership, there's a question mark. Who's going to be there? What are their own policies? What's their own strategy? These are concerns. Then you have AMCON, number 5. Today, there's this policy, there's this rule. Tomorrow, they switch it. It changes. You have, first of all, we had 1.5 trillion naira. CBN and Finance Ministry will sponsor it. Now it's the banks and also the CBN. Now you wonder, you're trying to save the banks. The same banks are also going to help out in providing the funding. It's all going around. So all of these are creating market issues. Okay,
well, it's quite interesting because what you're saying is that a lot of the news that we've been seeing in the reports that we've been hearing coming through from Nigeria could perhaps be misleading, and this, of course, creating the uncertainty that we have been seeing. We know that there has been a lot of strategies to try and create more confidence in the Nigerian market. I mean, AMCON and changes at the top at the SEC. So a lot of things that should be creating confidence. It's not filtering through as yet. But Jude, when you see all these macro issues coming into play and a lot of uncertainty and a lot of regulations and when they're going to be implemented and how, still big question marks around those issues. How does that change your investment strategy?
For now, I think from day one, when you take the time to do sober analysis and you invest in stocks that the more you look, the more you see, and they're pretty few to be honest, then you can weather the storm even in times like this. But when you jump into stocks based on hyperbole or irrational exuberance, then at times like this, you get burnt. And that's what some people may happen to some people. But for us, we don't invest in stocks purely based on sentiment. You have to pass a very strict policy. And if you don't, then we won't invest in you. So the issue right now is there may be a longer period of gestation before you can reap your profits, given the volatility in the market. That's really the difference right now.
So more volatility in the markets. I mean, you're saying that you're not going to invest in specific companies just on sentiment. You've got to see the fundamental factors coming through as well. Looking at what foreign investors have been doing, and we spoke a little earlier, you were talking about Africa funds, and of course, foreign investors like those Africa funds. But one key element is the fact that most foreign investors like investing in Nigerian companies which are run by foreigners. I mean, that's quite an interesting trend that is going on. Why do you think that is?
It's a take of why will a multinational company decide to soil its name across the world by allowing one subsidiary in a frontier market to do things the wrong way. On paper, yes, most of them will not want that. So as a foreign investor, you have analysts in London, Singapore, in America and Europe trying to see what's going on the ground in Nigeria. They tend to believe that, okay, these companies in Nigeria that are more than half owned by foreign multinationals are pretty safe. We tend to disagree, and this is why. In this market, once you come into Nigeria to run a business, you have to adjust to local dynamics. Nigeria's local dynamics are not the same anywhere else in the world. They're also not very honest, to be frank. So therefore, they're going to adjust, and certain policies that may not apply in the home country may apply here if they want to succeed and make a profit. So companies that are owned by multinationals, there are many of them. You have Total, you have Mobil, you have Guinness, you have PZ, Unilever. These are companies that they all go into on that basis. But I think they need to look beyond that and look at the figures and what's going on with their annual reports and see whether they're a good investment or not Jude, based on who owns them.
Unfortunately, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your insights. We'll definitely be picking up on that point very soon.